Have you ever really thought about the most amazing construction project on the planet? I'm not talking about a skyscraper or some supercomputer. I'm talking about you. Yeah, you. Every single one of us starts out as just one tiny, microscopic cell and somehow becomes this walking, talking community of trillions of cells. So let's get into the incredible story of how that actually happens.
Right here, this is where it all kicks off. This single cell, which is called a zygote, has the entire complete blueprint for a human being packed inside. So the big question is, how on earth does it go from this to building something as ridiculously complex as a human body?
Well, the very first thing on the to-do list is simple, but it's massive, multiplication. You can't build a city with just one brick, and you definitely can't build a body with just one cell. You need billions of them, and you need them fast.
Now this first phase of just explosive multiplication, it has a name. It's called cleavage. And the key thing to get here is that there's no overall growth happening. The goal isn't to get bigger yet, it's just to rapidly divide that original cell into tons of smaller ones. It's all about creating the raw materials, the cellular building blocks, for everything that's going to come next.
You can actually think of this whole construction project, it's called embryogenesis, as a three-act play. It's surprisingly straightforward. We just covered Act 1. Cleavage, which is making the building blocks. Now it's time for Act 2, where all those billions of new cells start to get organized.
Okay, so we've got this ball of billions of pretty much identical cells. The next step is absolutely crucial. This is the moment where this big, undifferentiated mass starts to sort itself out for the very first time. This is where cells get their first job assignments.
And this incredible sorting process is called gastrulation. Seriously, think of it like the great sorting hat. The ball of cells literally folds in on itself, and the cells migrate and rearrange into three totally distinct layers. This is it. This is the moment of destiny for these cells. From here on out, they're committed to becoming a specific part of the body.
And here they are, the three foundational layers, or germ layers. You've got the ectoderm on the outside, the mesoderm in the middle, and the endoderm on the inside. And here's the wild part. Every single part of you, your brain, your bones, your heart, your skin, all of it gets its start from one of these three layers. No exceptions.
All right, so we have our building blocks, and they've been sorted into their foundational teams. Now we get to the climax of the story, seeing what these layers actually build. It's time to meet the four master fabrics of the body.
What's just amazing is that every single organ in your entire body is built from different combinations of just these four basic types of tissue. That's it, just four. Think of them like the master fabrics that get woven together to create, well, you.
And this brings us to the final act, organogenesis, which is just a fancy word for the birth of organs. This chart connects all the dots perfectly. See how the inner layer, the endoderm, turns into things like lung cells, and the middle layer, the mesoderm, becomes your heart muscle and blood cells. And that outer ectoderm, that develops into your skin cells and all the neurons in your brain.
So we've seen how the germ layers give rise to these tissues. But what really are these four master fabrics? Let's do a quick tour and connect all these ideas to the body you're actually living in right now.
First up is epithelial tissue. Basically, this is your body's interface with the outside world. It's the covering. And it's not just your outer skin, it also lines all of your internal passageways like your entire digestive tract and all your blood vessels.
Your skin is the perfect example of this. Its cells are packed together incredibly tightly, which creates a fantastic protective barrier. Plus, it has this amazing ability to regenerate. You ever notice how fast a paper cut heals? Yeah, that's your epithelial tissue jumping into action. Next up is what I like to call the everything else tissue. Connective tissue is by far the most varied of the four. It's the versatile stuff that literally holds you together. It provides structure, support, and connects all your other parts. It's the glue and the scaffolding. And its diversity is just stunning, as you can see here. It forms everything from solid rock, like bone, to liquid, like blood. This incredible range is possible because all connective tissues share the same basic setup. You have specialized cells that are just floating in this matrix of protein fibers and a kind of gel-like substance. Okay, now for the engine. Muscle tissue is what makes you move. Simple as that. Its one and only job is to contract. From the blink of an eye, to the beat of your heart, to running a marathon, it is all powered by muscle tissue.
And there are basically three flavors of muscle. Skeletal muscle is the kind you control on purpose, the stuff that moves your bones. But cardiac and smooth muscle, they're involuntary. You don't have to think about making your heart beat or digesting your lunch, and thankfully, this tissue just handles all that for you.
And finally, we have the command and control center, nervous tissue. This is the body's high-speed wiring. It's made of these super specialized cells called neurons that fire electrical signals at incredible speeds. Every single thought, sensation, and action you've ever had is thanks to this stuff.
So there you have it. Those are our 4 master fabrics. But the real magic, the really cool part, happens when you see how they all work together, how they're woven into the complex functional organs that make you, you.
And this slide just brings it all home. That chart on the left recaps how those germ layers create specialized cells. But then look at the skin on the right. It's the perfect example of an organ where all 4 tissues are working as a team. You've got the epithelial tissue as the outer surface, connective tissue underneath for support, muscle tissue that gives you goosebumps, and nervous tissue so you can feel touch. It's a perfect collaboration.
You know, this quote from our source material just sums up the whole journey beautifully. It starts with one cell, which divides into groups, and each group gets a specific structure to perform a definite function. And that, right there, is the definition of a tissue. It's the fundamental principle of how you were built.
When you really think about it, it's an architectural marvel on a microscopic scale. And it's happening inside all of us, every single moment. Which leads me to one last question for you. Of all the incredible structures these tissues build, a thinking brain, a beating heart, eyes that can see, which one do you find the most amazing?